Hello watch people, this is Hector with Winding Crowns, and today we have a little short review of an Undone Basecamp. I did the unboxing the other day, and today I'm going to do a short review on this watch. But first, roll the intro. Hello watch people, my name is Hector and welcome to Winding Crowns. And we're back guys. Today I am wearing the Veyer field watch, 40mm single dome sapphire crystal faux patina, very Rolex Explorer looking on bracelet. Pretty nice little watch, screw down crown, 100-meter water resist. But anyway, the watch we're talking about is the Undone, the Basecamp. This is a watch that my buddy Kevin from Wrong Time Watch, if you haven't gone to his channel is called Wrong Time Watch. His name is Kevin, and he does all kind of reviews on watches and actually knives as well, and straps and everything else. In fact, I think he's even done a flashlight. So basically what I do, he does. But he's been doing it a little longer. But anyway, this is the watch we're doing now, Undone Basecamp. It's 100-meter water resist, which is more than sufficient. Most Seikos are 200, I believe. Most watches are 200, and some of them are even up to 300. But 100 is good. I've got a lot of watches with 100. The Seiko SRPE line, the Dress KXs, they're all 100. And those don't even have a screw down crown, and they're 100. Just a lot of them. Now this does have a screw down crown, guys. This one here, 100-meter water resist. It's a 40mm case, so going from here to here. This, you can go anywhere really, because this doesn't have, this is more old school vintage style, which the modern day ones, you know, would have the guards, the crown guards. But back in the day, before the crown guards, they were all like this. And then, of course, the invention of the crown guards came into play, and then everybody used them for protection so that you wouldn't bump it up against something. But I do like the aesthetic look of no crown guards. I really, really do. And that's why I kind of like this watch. It's got high polished sides. As you can see, the crown is high polished. And you've got the chamfered edges. The chamfered edges are also polished. But then the top of the lugs are brushed. See that? And then if you notice, I notice these little things, but the case doesn't just go around the watch like a typical one. If you notice, it's got a little bit more of a, see how the case, see how it doesn't follow the bezel like a lot of watches do. It's not going completely across either. It does have some curve, but you see how it comes out a little further than, and not exactly round. I kind of like that, and the reason I like it is because that means is that the strap, there's not a lot of gap between the case and the strap, that big airspace that you get sometimes. See how it's minimal because of that protrusion of the case. Although not going completely across, it does come out a little bit, which I like. It is a screw down crown, guys, so you have to unscrew it. Now, it doesn't have a whole lot of grip because it doesn't have a lot of like teeth, or, you know, the knurling. It's more of like octagon. It's just got the sides, and it's high polish. So some may say that it's hard to screw in, screw out, or even wind. I don't have that problem. I'm winding it right now. I'm winding it right now, and it's just going fine because it's almost kind of like an Allen wrench. It grabs sides and just, you could turn. Same premise with your fingers. Like if it was like didn't have any edges or something. But now, do I wish that it maybe had more knurling and grippier? Yeah. But this, I have no problem. I'm doing it right now. So they went for aesthetics. They like, I guess, the Undone like the look of this crown, and I don't mind it. It's kind of cool. Then you pop it out. Okay. See how nothing's going on? That would be, yeah, I'm not winding there. So that's literally would be your go state. And again, there's your time. Let's see, all the way in, I can feel the crunchiness of the winding. But one, nothing happens. And next is the time. Let's go ahead and set it. So let's go ahead and text this as 8:24. Your second hand didn't hack right at the 12, but we'll go right here, guys. Let's just take it over here. But see, I pushed it in and I'm winding. And you see that second hand is starting to move. See that? No problems. Now, I'm not going to screw it in yet because I'm going to wait till it gets to 12 and then I'm going to put it on a clean minute there. I don't like, it's my thing, but I don't like it when it gets to 12 and you're in between minutes. I don't like that, and that's because you set it on a time when the second hand wasn't at 12. So by the time it gets to 12, it thinks it's on a minute, but it's not because you actually didn't hack it correctly. Of course, you don't have a problem with that with the watches that don't have hacking. Not a problem, but see, I'll stop it here right at 12. Then I'll go to the minute. 25. Let's just go to 26. Let's run it one ahead. There it is. Now we're at 26, and when that hits the 12, we'll be at 27. So I like my watches like that. Anyway, I'm screwing it in. Well, no, I'm winding a little bit more. Now look how easy. I push it in, and it's screwed in. No problem. No problem. And look, there's the U for the Undone, the logo on the crown, the U. And you do have the teeth here, which even though it's polished, they're grippy enough. You can grab them, that no problem. But there's no clicking because it's bidirectional, guys. It's bidirectional. You can say, I don't like that because well, for one, guys, watches before they went with unidirectional bezels, they used to be like this. So if you really want to go vintage and you really want to keep it real, they wouldn't click and they wouldn't go just one way. That was an invention later. Before that, they were like this. So they're keeping it to the real vintage aesthetic, guys. Whether you complain or not, they really are. So I don't mind it. That's what they were going for. So I'm not going to complain about it and go, well, you're not, well, are you vintage or you're not? Are you inspired vintage or not? If you're going to do modern day stuff like that, then it's not. Now you're saying, well, it's got a modern day movement. I know because it's a modern watch. But what I'm saying is aesthetically, that's how it really should be. But anyway, if I was diving, I wouldn't be wearing this watch, period. So it doesn't really matter. But I do like that it does that. And you could say, well, it's easy to tap and move. Well, I wore it for a couple of days and it didn't do that for me. And also, it doesn't have a sapphire crystal. It's a dome plexi crystal. It says it right there, dome plexi, but they've got a name for it. The watches from back in the day, guys, that's what they were running. They had plexis. They weren't sapphires. They weren't even glass or mineral. They literally were this. So here again, we're just keeping up with how it really was. I mean, that's what they did. They were very domed. And they were a plastic, basically. Now, guys, I wish I still had it, but I remember in my early 20s, I purchased Submariners and Sea Dwellers. And I remember specifically that there was a sea dweller that I had. They call it Lexan. Lexan polycarbonate is what they're calling this plastic here. Of course, it's 316L stainless steel, 100-meter water resist, 66 grams for the watch on this band here. Japanese NH3580. So all the stuff that we know, guys. But I remember I had a Submariner and I had a Sea Dweller. And I remember that it had this dome plastic. And by then, the sapphire ones had just come out, or a few years ago. And so I had an older model. Not real old, but older, because the new ones had sapphire. And I remember I was like, I don't want, and I want to say it had red text, guys, and don't kill me, but I want to say it had a one line of red text, because it was an older watch. And I remember I don't want this. So of course I traded it in and put some money and got a sapphire crystal one, which in the Submariner and a Sea Dweller. Of course, now I think about it, and that is vintage, and it had the plastic crystal with a red line of text. A Sea Dweller. What an idiot, huh? I should have kept it, but you don't know. So like all those guys that bought 65 Mustangs and all these hot cars that back then were dirt cheap, and then they traded them in for that station wagon or whatever, and then later on they're like, why did I? Because you don't know. You just don't know, guys. So, but I do like that it's bidirectional and that it keeps it, time period correct. I like the fact that it's a dome plastic, guys. I do. Look at that. It protrudes huge, and you get all that glare. I mean, not glare, but distortion. I like that. I like the hands, because we know these type of hands, guys. Come on. We all know that the mil-spec type of Rolexes had these kind of hands. There's a Cali dial that's from the 1930s. We know that they used to be Roman on top, Arabic on bottoms. That's from around the 1930s. So in the 1930s, this is the kind of bezel you had, guys. No clicking, bidirectional. Cali dials, plastic crystals. I mean, at least it's got a screwed down crown, guys, and it's 100-meter water resist. You got an exhibition back. That's cool. Tells you undone. 316L stainless steel. Case and back. And it says pressure tested to 100-meter water resist. I like it. I like the fact that I like this type of band. I do like this type of band. It's a little short on me, but it does work. It's got the one floating keeper. Got the sign buckle undone. And it's got a good 20mm. So it's a strap monster if you want to put on a leather or something else. And I do like the aesthetics of it. It's quick release, and I do like that. I mean, it's a good looking watch. I like that it's a little bit of fume type of blue. It does have texturing. It almost reminds me of the Cascais Borealis with that kind of, not waffle pattern, but more like a tile pattern. But if you notice, it's kind of blue, and then it gets a little bit darker blue. Not black, but darker blue to the outsides. I like the fact that it's got the faux patina. You do have a lot of lume on all the numerals, the indices, Romans and Arabics. You have it on the end tip of the second hand and your hour minute hand. And then you have the full lume on the bezel, the triangle pip at 12, and then you have the 15, 30, 45, and all the 5-minute markers on there. It is blue, and it does look to be sapphire, some kind of glass or sapphire for the insert. It's just a good looking watch. I like it, guys. If you like this type of content, knives, flashlights, watch boxes, travel rolls, straps, just subscribe to the channel, guys. Subscribe to my channel. Tell your friends about the channel. Leave a comment down below. Hit the bell icon so you're notified of the next video. And thanks for watching, guys. And remember, never stop winding down.